Good morning to all. I'm making this video so that people can understand how they can use outside of Genie, to their advantage. Because a lot of people think I'm just running a tipping service, but I'm not. I'm doing form analysis. So when you subscribe to my service, I just want to show you, how to utilize and what to do my daily form analysis that I give you. Remember, I always said to you, I always say in my videos that I'm not a tipster, I'm a form analyzer. So what I do is I analyze form and I then give that to punters, and then you add my numbers because I focus to find outsiders and value bets and all of that. I mean, to find a favorite today, really, it is not a rocket science, but it is to find that elusive outsider that you can include that can either make the pick six pay, your PA, or your swinger exacta quartet, whatever you use to play. And that's what I'm doing. I'm providing you with numbers that you can add into your selections. I've had already in the past people saying to me, thank you for giving us that outsider. Because of that outsider, I caught this massive pick six or a PA or a quartet or a trifecta selection or exacta selections. So that is what the purpose is of outsider Genie. I'm not a tipping service that can tip you 1, 3, and 4 and all of. I look for value. I utilize the computer form. I've been using computer forms since I was 13 years old in 1973. I'm now 60. I used to study the computer form 3 to 4 hours a day instead of doing my schoolwork. So there's not a lot that you can tell me about computer form. And I've learned over the years how to utilize computer form to find these outsiders. I mean, yesterday was a case in point again. I gave you a horse called Fire on Track that won. I've got so many examples. Too many to mention. I know last week, Thursday, I give you a horse that ran second as an outsider selection, paying 12 Rand a place. Now imagine you catch a quartet where you have a horse paying 12 Rand a place in that quartet. So if you followed my, actually somebody did, he played the quartet for 42 Rand and he got back 720 Rand on that specific quartet. So what I then do is I give you this sheet every day. Now, first of all, there is some people who ask me that I must give them all the comes that I can play. A lot of people like to play all the comes, so I put together all the comes. They don't often win. They don't win all the time, but but some of them do win. I think also yes on Saturday I gave you one that won at 25 to 20. I can't even remember, but there were some nice ones in the past, nice doubles which you can play if you want to. If not, that's fine. Then I give you my selections. Now, what I'm doing is I'm giving you, first of all, I'm giving you 3 selections. The first one, the first number, that is the horse that I think will win outright. Okay. The other 2 selections is my outsider selections, which is not in a particular order. Now, the outright winner can be any price. It can be 33 to 1, it can be 11 to 1, it can be 8 to 10. That doesn't matter the betting. I'm giving that horse because that's the horse I truly, through my form analysis, believe can win the race. Then I give you a box exacta. Now, guys, I want to tell you now that my box exactas, since I've introduced this, are coming in regularly 3-4 times on a meeting. And the other day, one of them paid over 200 Rand. And it was one for 170 and another 157 Rand. And the reason being, of course, we make utilize those outsider selections. So if they come into the quartet, then the quartet starts paying. I have seen in the past that sometimes my outsider selections ran first and second. Now, if that happens, that exacta is going to play. So you can then either play that exacta also as a swinger combination or even a trifecta combination, which will cost you 24 Rand. Then I give you trifecta selections that is 5 horses that cost 60 Rand, which you can box. Then I give you a quartet selection, which is 360 Rand, or you can box it for 36 Rand for 10%, because sometimes even on 10%, you make a few bucks. Or you can also utilize the quartet selections in playing a trifecta, because that trifecta is then 6 horses will cost you 120 Rand. Certainly in big fields, that sometimes pay off. And I can tell you, I've hit some huge quartets, 17,000 Rand, 14,000 Rand, and all of that. Then I also give you the race time that, you can see what time the race closes. You don't always have to go back to the card. But certainly, I would think, especially if you're a new punter, focus on playing this exactas in exactas and also swinger box, because 4 horses swinger box is 6 Rand. You play that 5 times or 10 times if you're a small punter, then you collect. There's only 3 horses. It's going to cost you 3 Rand box. So, certainly that's how you utilize, or you can then maybe take the 2 and the 1, and then you add something that you like and you play that. But so certainly, again, this is the numbers that I give you that you can add into, or you can play as is or use some of that numbers. Then here's my daily value bets and my base bet. Now, one of my customers, I'm not going to mention his name, but and he sent me a copy of the ticket. A few weeks ago, he took my two value bets, of which one was Fred at 16-1, and then also the best bet of the day. And he played it all to come for 100 Rand, and that paid 25,000 Rand. So maybe you want to take this every day. Just play a 10 Rand one. I mean, even for 10 Rand, I mean, 20. If you want 2,500 Rand for 10 Rand, wow, what a win! So maybe you want to play this value bet, as an all to come every day for 10 Rand, because that's what I'm just doing. I'm just chucking on 10 Rand on my bets. And one of these days I am going to hit it, and I'm going to hit it big, and I'm going to collect money. So that is then those bets. But oh yeah, please ensure that you play the value bets each way, because sometimes they don't win, but they pay well, 5-6 Rand a place. So maybe if you want to even go all to come for places, or just take those 2 for places, and then all to come for a win on the best bet. I mean, you can decide on how you want to do it and what you're comfortable with. Then here's my pick 6, guys. Now I try my pick 6. I mean, my children always say, if there was a pick 5, I would have been a millionaire, because I'm always out one leg. Now, what I'm doing is I'm trying to give a pick 6 at 1% at, so that you can add on to that, or maybe, put some of your own numbers onto that, and still be, that's not going to cost you arm and a leg, because unfortunately, sometimes we invest a lot of money in the pick 6s, and that prohibits you from putting money on other bets, and then it doesn't win, or over the weekend, it pays so little that when you have to collect, they send you an SMS telling you to pay in, because it was so small, the payout. But that doesn't happen. I've had some huge successes on pick 6s, getting 9 to 11,000 Rand on my 1% pick 6. But I do say that I think 90% of the time I always miss it by one leg. But maybe in that leg, that is the leg that you add on. And then, guys, you'll see my pick 6s 99% of the time I put in the field. Now and then, when there's big fields, I would not include a field, but wherever I can, I include a field in the last leg. And my reasoning for that is that at the end of the day, if in the previous legs you hit a few outsiders and you get to the last leg, you don't want to sit and stress, about the horses that you didn't include and all of that. You want to know, listen, this is the minimum that I'm going to get, and that's the maximum that I can. And I can tell you that feeling is great when you sit there and you know that you are covered. And then you can even punch some horses on the nose if you want to, because you can work out how much you're going to win. And then maybe then if you want to make an extra few Rand, let's say maybe you're going to collect 5 grand, even if the favorite wins. then you can say, listen, if I got the money, I can put another 500 Rand on a favorite, just to get an extra little bit of money. Because unfortunately, as a punter, you can never win enough. I know that feeling, because you can never have too much money. You always want to looking to get some more. And that's maybe the mistake that all of us make. And then I give you a PA for 64 Rand, and you can then add into that. Normally, what I do is I take the favorite or second favorite with one of my outsider selections, and then put the PA. And we have caught this PA a few times already in the past, and or sometimes we just had one leg out. But so yeah, you can maybe add on to that depending on your finances. So hopefully you will understand now how Outsiders Genie selections works, and that's why you need to subscribe to Outsiders Genie, so you can get these numbers and start making money. And as already some of my people subscribing to my service do. So I thank you for your time. I hope that this gave you a bit of an insight on my selections, and as I always say, break a leg.